Well, happy Friday, guys. Hope you like some red because that's what the stock market is today. We're down across the board in the U.S. stock market. Cheers, by the way. I appreciate you all for tuning in. And the VIX is up around 11% right now, and the metals are up as well after we got some tariff news regarding Apple, the EU, of course, President Donald Trump as well. So we have a lot to cover in this video, the news we got, the charts, stocks I'm watching. But first, hit the like button. Do not forget to subscribe. Check out the Patreon if you guys want to keep up with what I'm doing in my portfolio, and join the free email stock newsletter if you want me to send you my top stocks weekly for free. Right to your email. Both of those are down below. And now, cheers again. Take a sip of your coffee, guys. You're going to need it for this video. And let's dive into it. So it's about 11 a.m. on the East Coast right now, and we have every index in the U.S. stock market in the red. The S&P's down 1%. The Dow's down 0.8%. QQQ, NASDAQ 100 is down over 1.1%, and the Russell is down 0.75%, as the VIX, like I said in the intro, is up around 10-11%. Pretty big move here for the VIX. And we have the metals. Let's see. Gold is up around 2%. Yeah, it looks like 1.9%. Gold kind of looks like it's breaking back out again here on the 4-hour time frame. We're back over these moving averages, and we have silver moving as well, 0.75% in the green, and looks like it's starting to break back over these moving averages as well. So VIX is up, metals are up, looks like oil's up as well, and the equities, the equity market, not looking so great. It is one of those days. And again, this comes after we got news from Donald Trump this morning that we have to cover. We might as well just dive into it right now. Start off the video with this. So the first thing is, well, Apple. He's coming after Apple like he has been, right, the last month and a half. Trump threatens 25% tariff on Apple if it does not start making iPhones in America, which you guys know they make a lot of iPhones in China, right? They're manufacturing in China. Now they're pushing that over to India, which we'll cover here in a second. So let's come down a little bit. Apple shares dropped, which I'll show you the stock after this part of the video. Apple shares dropped as much as 3% on Friday after President Donald Trump threatened the tech company with a 25% tariff if it does not start producing iPhones in the United States. And he posted, I think, on Truth Social. We can see it right here. Trump said, "I have long ago informed Tim Cook of Apple that I expect their iPhones that will be sold in the United States of America will be manufactured and built in the United States, not India or any place else. If that is not the case," Trump said, "a tariff of at least 25% must be paid by Apple to the United States." And he said, "Thank you for your attention to this matter." And if you guys didn't know, if iPhones were all made in the United States, I think Dan Ives from Wedbush was saying, I don't know if it's in this article or what. Yeah, it looks like it's right here. I don't know. Actually, it might have not been Dan Ives, or maybe it was Dan Ives. It says here, new iPhones are currently priced around $1,100, $1,200, and Wall Street analysts have offered up various estimates for what an American-made iPhone would cost, which would be ranging from $1,500 on the low end all the way to $3,500. That's insane, and that depends on how much of its supply chain Apple is ultimately able to reshore. That is insane. And Dan Ives said in a note to clients on Friday following Trump's post, he said, which, by the way, Dan Ives gave that $3,500 estimate in April. Dan Ives called the idea of U.S.-made iPhones a fairy tale. He said he believed Apple would continue to attempt to negotiate with the administration to come to a solution. And honestly, man, I agree wholeheartedly with Dan Ives. I don't think iPhones are coming to the United States manufacturing-wise. There's just no way. I mean, $3,500 iPhone, come on, even if it's $2,500, this is insane, right? It's insane, and it's not going to happen, quite frankly. It's just not going to happen. It's just not. It's going to end up being in India, the manufacturing. We're going to come to a deal. It's just not going to happen. No one in the United States wants these manufacturing jobs anyway. This whole thing that Trump wants to bring all the plants, all the manufacturing back to the United States. It's not the Industrial Revolution or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't think it's going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It's a pipe dream. Like I've said, it's a fairy tale, and this is all for them to ultimately negotiate and come to a deal. It's like, come on, man, Trump, it's just not going to happen. Manufacturing in the United States, all these products, it's not going to happen because everything is going to be extremely expensive and nobody wants these jobs for the most part, and AI is coming into play now over the next couple of years, robots, and these are going to take these jobs anyway. So why are we bringing these jobs to the United States? It doesn't make any sense. But another thing, Trump calls for a 50% tariff on EU, the European Union, starting June 1st. You heard that right. And that's another thing sending stocks down today, the VIX up, right? President Trump said on Friday he is recommending a straight 50% tariff on the European Union after complaining that trade negotiations have stalled. We can see here, he wrote this on Truth Social, blah, blah, blah. He said the EU has been very difficult to deal with. Our discussions with them are going nowhere. Trump's announcement came less than 30 minutes after he threatened to impose a tariff of at least 25% on Apple's iPhones if the company did not start manufacturing them in the United States. And that's actually interesting. Is the tariff only on iPhones, or is it on the other products that Apple manufactures in China and India as well? Like the iPads, Macs, right? The watches. Is it just iPhones, or is it across the board? I think it might just be iPhones because obviously that's the bulk of their business, right? But yeah, that's kind of what's going on here. Looks like this might have been the tweet that he sent out. He said the European Union, which was formed for the primary purpose of taking advantage of the U.S. on trade, has been very difficult to deal with. Their powerful trade barriers, VAT taxes, ridiculous corporate penalties, non-monetary trade barriers, monetary manipulations, and the list goes on, have led to a trade deficit with the U.S. of more than $250 million a year, a number which is totally unacceptable. He said our negotiations with them are going nowhere. Therefore, I'm recommending a straight 50% tariff on the European Union starting June 1st. So a lot's going down this Friday, guys. A lot's going down. This week was kind of smooth sailing up until today, essentially. Well, I guess it wasn't really smooth sailing. I guess the bond market has been a bit wonky. We got Moody's dropping the credit rating for the U.S. So I guess, okay, it has not been smooth sailing the last week. It's kind of been a little bumpy, but now it's getting even bumpier. Let's just say that with the news that we got today regarding Apple and the European Union. So across the board right now, guys, stocks are not looking so hot, obviously. I mean, we have some movers, but nothing too crazy here. A lot of red across the board. It looks like Coinbase, Apple obviously is down, ARM Holdings, companies like Rivian, Carnival Cruise Line, Meta, AMD, Amazon, Tesla, Nvidia, across the board, all of these are down. But we do have some movers. OKLO in particular, 25% in the green. I mean, this stock does not stop. I mean, holy smokes, this thing is up like crazy. I don't know really what's going on yet. I haven't looked at it. Looks like OKLO poised to benefit on expected Trump executive order supporting nuclear build-out. According to Wedbush, OKLO shares are trading higher after Wedbush also raised their price target on the stock from $45 to $55 and maintained an outperform rating. So OKLO at this point, I'm not buying the breakout. I think it's too late, quite frankly. There might be some FOMO going on here, but hey, if you're in the stock, you're making a lot of money right now, maybe it's a good time to lock in some profits. Not telling you what to do, obviously, just an idea. But OKLO is moving and grooving right now, guys. Stocks like, let's see what else is going up. Enphase is moving a little bit. All right, Enphase 3.5%, still crashing overall. CrowdStrike, that's one of my holdings, is up on the day about 2%. I'll take it. Let's go. Heading into earnings in about a couple days here. Actually, no, not a couple of days, about a week and a half. We're getting CrowdStrike's earnings, and we have a cup and handle forming clear as day on CrowdStrike on the 4-hour chart, getting ready for an overall breakout. Is what it's looking like. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Join the free email stock newsletter. Check out my Patreon for my portfolio updates every single week. That is linked down below. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you in the next video.